Hi, David Varner here, U.S. Patriot, posting a series of videos in the wake of all of the threats we have to our country and to ourselves and our families that are going to be self-defense oriented. This particular short video is going to be on how to prepare your home in these days and times that we live in 2020. First of all, the disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice. So I'm just going to share with you things that I understand and some things that I think would be a good idea to prevent some bad situations. And do your own research, make your own decisions. So I'm going to explain a few things as I understand them. But again, it's your responsibility to research the law and make decisions for you and your family. First of all, consider getting some prepaid legal insurance such as U.S. and Texas Law Shield or UCCA, which stands for Concealed Carry Association of America. They have an insurance program that will protect you, and there's family plans as well, in the event that you have to defend yourself or a loved one using deadly force. And it not only is for concealed carry, but any kind of firearm, weapon, even your fist. If you have to defend yourself, they will defend you. It's not a lot of money, and I think during this day and time, these crazy times when there's so much violence in the streets, I think it's well worth getting. I personally use U.S. and Texas Law Shield. I got it when we lived in Texas, when it was just Texas Law Shield, but now they're part of a bigger organization. I highly recommend them. A lot of people like UCCA. The purpose again of this is to help people protect their homes and themselves in the event of civil unrest. The time frame of this video is we're right after the election, before a president has been certified as our next president in 2020. So right now, Antifa is vowing to burn the mother effer to the ground, our country, if they don't get their way. They've already actually threatened to do that if Trump does not say that he's not the president and give a concession, and he has not done that. He has not conceded defeat, and I don't think he will, and I believe he's going to win. A lot of people are pretty ticked off right now, feel like this election has been stolen. But anyway, I was thinking about these things several months ago. BLM and Antifa came into Charleston, South Carolina, and they were going all over the country, just burning downtowns down, looting cities. There was a credible threat that night that they were burning down big pieces of historic Charleston, that they were coming into the suburbs and they were going to start burning people's homes down. There was all kind of chatter on the internet. So I started thinking about, oh my God, what do you do? How do you prepare in case people start marching down the street, setting your houses on fire? Luckily, it never happened, but I did think about a lot of things of how to protect my home and want to share them with you. And here's a few of them. If you have an irrigation system for your lawn, if there's a credible threat that you think could take place in the very near future, consider running that bad boy. If they're hitting at nighttime, in the evening, maybe run a cycle. Know how to use the manual cycle. If they come in your yard, maybe turn on the irrigation system. Hey, it wouldn't hurt. As far as your yard goes, I would avoid using pine straw for landscaping. It's very popular in North Carolina, somewhat in South Carolina. Not a bad idea. Pine straw, when it's dry, is like a tinderbox. It is not a good thing to have all around the base of your home. I would use mulch instead, and keep it raked out. Keep your bushes and shrubs trimmed away from your house. If someone were to set your yard on fire, your pine straw, do not let someone just come burn your whole house down by putting a cigarette lighter in your pine straw. Avoid that. Easy to do. The other one is I want to talk about just practical things to be able to put out a fire if that happens. Your bathtub is probably the fixture in your home that will put out the most gallons per minute of water. Way more than your bath sink, your vanity sink, or your kitchen sink, or anything else, or your shower. Your bath faucet will pump out way more water, way faster than anything else inside your home. So if there's a credible threat, That night, I went, got a bunch of buckets. I put them in our garden tub, ready to go. I think I may have even filled a few up. I rounded up a few blankets, towels. They were ready, And if I started seeing a bunch of BLM and Antifa assholes marching down the street, I would have put the plug in the tub and filled the bottom of that tub up so I could throw blankets or whatever. I would have made sure buckets were full. We bought fire extinguishers. I would urge you to have fire extinguishers in your home, plenty of them. So anyway, those are just some practical things you can do. And if there's a real threat, like a here and now, like they're down the street on their way down the street kind of thing, pull all your curtains back too. Those are highly flammable. If someone threw something through your window, like a Molotov cocktail, it could start a fire real quick. And things like drapes are extremely flammable. I'm not saying pull them all down or anything, but maybe just get them back away, open them up. Maybe put your blinds down to make sure something doesn't crash through the glass and, land halfway through the room and catch your whole room on fire. Just having your blinds down could be a little bit of a barrier to someone throwing something through the window. One of them too is your vehicle. Make sure your vehicles are pointed out to exit your residence quickly if you need to. Even in your garage, if you park your car in your garage, back it in the driveway. If you need to make a hasty retreat, whether it's to get medical attention or just to get the hell out or whatever the deal is, back your car in so that you can put it in drive. If you've got an angry mob in your yard, you do not want to have to fight them to try to get in your car and then back up and pull out. You don't want that. You want to be able to hit the gas and go. Maybe run over a few things on the way. So anyway, so there's a lot of talk. There's a big shortage of firearms and ammo right now. It's a big deal. So if you're behind the 8 ball here and you haven't stocked up on firearms and ammo and you're kind of late to the game here, a great option for you is a 12-gauge shotgun. It's hard to get buckshot and slugs, and buckshots is definitely your great home defense ammo. However, birdshot is plentiful right now. If there's one thing you can find in a store, birdshot. It's everywhere because people don't typically use it. It's actually good for self-defense. And if you've got a 12-gauge shotgun and you're shooting within the confines of your home, you do not want to get hit with birdshot. I would certainly not want to get hit with it. So I hate to shoot anybody with birdshot or anything else for that matter, but it'd be particularly nasty. But anyway, you can get plenty of it. So if you don't have any, go get yourself a shotgun or some shotguns. And I would highly recommend a semi-automatic shotgun. They have less recoil, so ladies can use them easier. By the way, for any kind of ammo or guns, anything, make sure that you keep it safe. If you've got children, you've got a totally different situation. You've got children in the home than like me and my wife. So we both know how to use firearms, and it's not something like we have a toddler running around that we have to be concerned at. If we have visitors, we have to regroup and lock things up. But anyway, mace and pepper spray is another one. If you want some good non-lethal, stop somebody in their tracks, mace and pepper spray is great. You can get it all over the internet. You can get it at gun stores. You can get it at pawn shops. You can get it a multitude of places. Sporting goods stores sell it. Bass Pro Shops, they sell it. You can get a big one. You can hose down a lot of people with that bad boy. That's like what cops carry around when they're dispelling major crowds. You can get small ones. Get them. Put them in your car. Put them in every vehicle you have. You put this in your pocket. You go walking into a store and someone starts harassing you for not wearing your mask and it turns violent and they attack you or something. I mean, this kind of stuff's happening. People are being attacked for not wearing a mask, okay? There's a great option right there. But still, if there's children or anyone else that's not capable of being able to manage or use mace or pepper spray, then you take your whatever precautions you think are necessary to make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands. But I would say get some. It's very inexpensive. You can get a whole bunch of cans of mace for the price of one firearm. So Have it all over your house and know where it is. Let's see. Oh, network with like-minded people and neighbors. Exchange phone numbers. Consider putting them in a group of people that you would consider patriot neighbors, where you got each other's back. Let them know you have each other's back. Exchange phone numbers. If there's a situation that a group text would make sense, which I hate group text, but anyway, you can do that, or call people in your group, let them know what's going on. That would be a good thing, so you can get together and talk about what do you do. Know that you got each other's back. Before you ever use any kind of deadly force, you must be afraid for your life. That is an important thing. There's a myth that if you shoot someone, they need to be inside your house. So if you shoot them on your doorstep, you drag them in. Don't do that. Laws vary by states. I don't know all the different states' laws, but you can defend yourself, from what I understand, whether it's your business, your vehicle, your home. It doesn't have to be in your home, but you must be afraid for your life. That's very important. Okay, if someone's outside that you don't like, you don't just open the door and start shooting at them. They must be a threat. With that said, if these people start following through and start actually burning down people's homes and burning their homes with them in them, and that starts happening, and they come to your neighborhood and some dude is outside your window with a can of gas and a cigarette lighter, and they're out there saying they're going to burn your mother effer out of the house, I'd drop him in his tracks right there. You know what I mean? He's got a deadly weapon. He's threatened you. And if it's been happening, and Antifa and BLM have been doing, they haven't been burning people's homes down yet, but they're promising to, or Antifa is anyway. I don't know about BLM, but they're promising to burn down our country. If that starts to happen and you see something like that, and someone looks like they're about to set your house on fire, I wouldn't wait for them to come in the front door, because they probably aren't. On the other hand, you don't want to, perish in your home in a house fire because you were waiting for them to come in the front door. But that's the thing. You got to be afraid for your life. So they can pose a deadly threat to you without being inside your home, especially if they're planning on burning it down. Don't fire warning shots. I've been told that's a no-no. You can get charged with discharging a firearm inside city limits or something like that. So the law tends to frown on that, and they might go seizing your weapons over it. They may arrest you for it. Even though you're trying to stop violence, and it would make sense, again, that's a decision you would have to make. If an incident happens, be smart. Do not run your mouth. If you call the police or you call 911 and you have to dispatch them to your house, tell them what happened, where to come, and then hang up. Do not sit there on the phone with them. They will try to get you to sit there on the phone with them. Remember this, that dispatcher is not your friend, and it is not their job to take a report. And they're not going to take a report, but they are recording everything you say. Okay, and if something happens, do not sit there and run your mouth with your adrenaline pumping and your emotions on overload, telling some police officer who also, all respect to police officers is fine, but do not sit there and incriminate yourself. Call U.S. Law Shield right away, or UCCA right away, or an attorney right away. Do not feel like you need to sit there and tell every officer on the scene everything that happened, because they will be glad to let you run your mouth and take notes, and you could incriminate yourself. You need to just think about it. Don't do anything wrong. Don't use excessive deadly force. Don't use it unless necessary, but you need to be smart if something happens. Don't go incriminating yourself. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this short video. Let me know if you like it. If you don't, subscribe if you would. I'm going to post a few more videos like this that are going to get into some more martial arts, self-defense, hand-to-hand combat, some dirty fighting techniques, things like that. But this one's all about the home. This one's all about being safe in your home in this day and time where we have a threat out there that wants to tear our country down, burn us out of our homes, and literally take our homes and bring in socialism and communism like a bunch of brown shirts. The threat is real. I hope it never materializes and nobody ever has to act on anything I've posted in this video. But it's better to be prepared to be able to put out a fire quick and do whatever you got to do to keep you and your family safe. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know any useful comments. I appreciate it. Till next time. Thanks.